In the name of Allah, most gracious, most merciful, peace be upon you. I'd like to take this opportunity to apologise because I speak slowly. However, you can speed up this video by clicking on settings at the bottom right of the screen. Then click on speed and select the speed that you want. Now, I like to open the Quran now and again at a random place. I say a prayer and then open the Quran and pray that Allah guides me through the verses in improving myself in my everyday life, and basically teaches me to be a better person in my everyday life. Now, I was compelled to open the Quran for Modi and give him Allah's message because I feel like he is becoming quite warmongering with Pakistan and is playing into the hands of the Western gutter elite that wish to divide and conquer the Asian people. The way I perceive it, at the moment, Pakistan is like a shield for India. You may not be able to see this living in India, but believe you me, Pakistan is like a shield for the Indians because they're being protected by Pakistan. Any attacks are being directed at Pakistan from the West. They have paid mercenaries who are terrorists, and these terrorists go around killing people across the world. And at the moment, a lot of their attacks are, yes, in Syria, but also in Pakistan. So, without further ado, I would like to get on to Allah's message, which is the point of this presentation. The Quran opened at Surah 45, which means crouching in English. I haven't wrote the Arabic word in there, apologies, but the meaning of the Arabic word for Surah 45 is crouching, and it begins Ha Mim, which are mystery letters. The revelation of the book is from Allah, the exalted in power, full of wisdom. Verily, in the heavens and the earth are signs for those who believe, and in the creation of yourselves and the fact that animals are scattered through the earth are signs for those of assured faith. And in the alternation of night and day, and the fact that Allah sends down sustenance from the sky and revives therewith the earth after its death, and in the change of the winds, are signs for those that are wise. Actually, these 3 lines that I've just read are quite complex and full of deeper meaning, but because I don't understand or have knowledge about the scattering of animals across the world, I cannot understand the depth of verse 4, but I can understand some of verse 5, which talks about how Allah can revive something that is dead by sending rain from the sky, and this he will do on the day of judgment as well, when we die, He can revive us. The revival of plants in the summer after their death in the winter is actually a sign that Allah has given us to confirm what He will do on the Day of Judgment. Also, when animals hibernate, we call it hibernation. Bears hibernate. I think bees do too over the winter, and they are brought back to life again in the spring. That is a sign from Allah that He can bring us to life. Such are the signs of Allah which we rehearse to thee in truth. Then in what exposition will they believe after rejecting Allah and His signs? So if you reject these signs, and some which are deeper than my own understanding, which signs will you believe? Which signs after these will you believe? Woe to each sinful dealer in falsehoods. It's unfortunate that Allah has had to announce to everybody who watches this video what his issue is with Modi. He is a sinful dealer in falsehoods. He hears the signs of Allah rehearsed to him, yet is obstinate and lofty, as he had not heard them, then announced to him a penalty grievous. So obviously these people who are leaders of countries, they think they are too high and mighty and beyond the reach of Allah, but they are not beyond the reach of Allah, and we have to, as believers, have to announce to him a grievous penalty. The verses go on to say, and when he learns something of our signs, he takes them in jest. For such there will be a humiliating penalty. So Allah is prophesying what Modi would do or will do when he hears this announcement. He will find them funny and not realize that him joking about the verses or the signs of Allah will cause him to suffer a humiliating penalty. In front of them is hell, and of no profit to them is anything they may have earned, nor any protectors they may have taken to themselves besides Allah. For them is a tremendous penalty. Now in another video I did talk about how I had a really strange experience where I believed I had died and I was in hell, and all around me were the signs of hell. There was eeriness in the atmosphere. The food didn't taste nice, and it smelt and it seemed rotten, and I could see everywhere I looked, I could see the faces of demons staring at me, and I realized that heaven and hell are right before us. They are right in front of us and we cannot see them. They're almost like other dimensions, and it's easy for Allah to make us step into one or the other depending on what lesson He wants us to learn. So I'd like to continue Allah's message to Modi. This is true guidance, and for those who reject the signs of their Lord is a grievous grievous penalty of abomination. It is Allah who has subjected the sea to you, that ships may sail through it by his command, that ye may seek of his bounty, and that ye may be grateful. So Allah here is confirming that everything that works for us is something that Allah has created so that we can earn our living and that we may show thanks to the one God. And so for this verse to come up, for Modi, it suggests that he is not grateful to the one God. He is not grateful to his creator. And he has subjected to you, as from him, all that is in the heavens and on earth. Behold, in that are signs indeed for those who reflect. When you learn science, you actually learn about how everything is helpful to us. The fact that water expands when it freezes rather than contract as all other substances do, allows life to exist. Because what happens in the seas is the ice, as it freezes, floats to the top. It forms at the top of lakes and seas and allows the fish to continue living beneath. Okay, if it became heavier, it would fall to the bottom and kill plant and animal life below. So this is an amazing thing that Allah has done for us, and it's only those who reflect and think about such things that understand. Tell those who believe to forgive those who do not look forward to the days of Allah. It is for him to recompense for good or ill each people according to what they have earned. So Allah is talking to the believers now who may listen to this, and is telling us that we must forgive people like Modi and other people who are evil, unless they are killing people, in which case they should be tried in a court of law. And similarly with Modi, if he is a war criminal, then he needs to be tried in a court of law. But I'm just going to read that again. It is for Allah to recompense for good or ill each people according to what they have earned. This also reassures us, the believers, that Allah will definitely recompense people like Modi. If anyone does a righteous deed, it ensures to the benefit of his own soul. If he does evil, it works against his own soul. In the end will ye all be brought back to your Lord. So this message goes out to everyone, that if you do, including Modi, that if you do good deeds, if you replace your evil deeds with good deeds, then you will only benefit yourself. And if you do evil deeds, then that will work against your own self, especially on the day that you will be brought back to life, to Allah. The verses continue. We did aforetime grant the children of Israel the book, the power of command and prophethood, and we gave them for sustenance things good and pure, and we favoured them above the nations. So perhaps his relationship, Modi's relationship with Israel, is coming into play, Perhaps he's been told by the Israelis that he's belongs to perhaps a lost tribe of Israel. So Allah is also announcing to him the background of the children of Israel, and how the children of Israel were given power and prophethood and good things to eat, and Allah chose them above the nations, above all nations, and Allah can choose whoever he wills to be above all nations. And usually actually he selects what appear to be the worst of people, and he can transform them, alhamdulillah. You know, the worst of people, he can make them excel so that they become the best of people through his guidance. So the chapter continues, and we granted them clear signs in affairs of religion. It was only after knowledge had been granted to them that they fell into schisms through insolent envy among themselves. So after they were given clear signs about religion and they increased in knowledge, that they started becoming jealous of each other and of other groups, and Allah will judge. It says, verily thy Lord will judge between them on the day of judgment as to those matters in which they set up differences. So not only the children of Israel, but other religious groups, including Muslim groups, separate from each other, saying our group is better because we follow this sheikh, or our group is better because we follow another sheikh. Or even in terms of Christianity, you have Protestants and Catholics and various other denominations, but really we should all be united towards the one God who has basic rules that we should all abide by. Only worship the one God, do not steal, do not envy, do not kill. These basic rules that are fundamental to the belief in one God. So I pray that Modi, as well as all of us, including me, are guided, protected and given peace through these verses. We all take heed and improve ourselves to be better people. And as always, I pray that Satanists, Antichrist and the devil are also guided to the straight path, and that the ultimate success be that all creation unite for truth and justice and allow humans to know. And I pray Allah helps humans understand that they are not wiser than Allah, and they can't judge Allah's decisions because we don't see everything. We only see a particular perspective. And I ask Allah to grant us all guidance and forgiveness, and I pray that Allah makes children a source of peace for the parents, and the parents be a source of peace for the children. And please Allah make me be a source of peace for all. And may I achieve martyrdom by defending the vulnerable. Allah Hafiz and Allahu Akbar.